Hi, welcome to the latest edition of Ragic Office Hour, and let's get started by answering your questions. Explanation on operational limitations of link and load. Okay, I was reading about link and load feature and the operational limitations that this feature has in some cases. Could you please explain the following cases I have not fully understand why they exist as limitations. Subtable loading is not triggered when using convert records. Yeah, I think for the first one, if you're referring to loading a field, a non-subtable field, and linking a non-subtable field and loading multiple rows of values on subtables, yes, that's not supported yet, but we are planning on adding them because, this kind of multiple subtable load at the same time is one of our newly supported features, and it has not been supported on convert records yet. But if you're referring to normal, like one-to-one subtable link and load, like if you're just linking a product and loading its product unit price or product descriptions, that will certainly still work for convert records. But right now, it's not automatically loading for multiple, only not loading for multiple subtable rows. And that will be supported in the near future. Okay, and the next one, subtable loading is not triggered during importing. Same reason. So if you're referring to one-to-one and loading on subtables, they certainly will work on imports. The only thing that's not supported yet is that when you are linking a non-subtable field and loading multiple subtable rows at the same time, like when you're doing the bill of material explosion. So those kind of one-to-many subtable loading is not supported yet. When you are doing convert records or importing, they will be basically using the same code module to load these multiple subtable rows. Loading multiple subtables with multiple sets of default values. Is not supported. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by multiple set of default values for now. Loading multiple subtables with multiple sets of default values. Well, you could do link and load. You can have a default value populating the linked field to trigger a link and load. But I'm not sure what you mean by multiple sets of default values. How could a field have multiple sets of default value? I'm not sure what this means. So I'm gonna answer the A, B, and first, and maybe you could clarify on the C. If you're referring to link and loading, linking a non-subtable field and loading multiple rows from source sheet. This is a newly supported newly added feature and has an automated loading for convert record and import, mass import, has not been supported yet. However, we are planning on supporting this in the near future. Let's see. Sure. What we mean by multiple sets of default values. Could you find? Okay. I'll keep you posted on those automatic loading when you're doing convert record or mass import for these non-subtable fields and load multiple rows of subtable rows. Keep an eye on this. Okay, next question about approval workflow formulas. Okay, I have a question regarding the approval workflow formulas. As I have read and seen via the videos of office hour and via the learning center documents, there are several approval workflow formulas. These formulas work with parameters, variables defined in them like the examples below. Okay, for status, submitter, finish date. My question is there a list of all those combinations of approval workflow formula and the variable parameters that they can combine gathered in one document? Okay, you mean is there a list of the formulas that you can use in workflow? So yeah, I think we can just go to the formula section here and you can find the approval formulas here. Yes, this is all the approval related formulas here. You can refer to the formula references here for a complete list of formulas that you can use for approval. Okay. Hope I'm not misunderstanding your question, but you should be able to refer to this document on the list of formulas that you can use. Next question. I have a question about the Learning Center search feature. I have a question regarding the Learning Center search feature that is available. I have a term word that I want to search that's a deputy from the deputy approver case. When I'm at the Learning Center, I place the word deputy in the search bar. I found no documents. Doesn't sound right. Let me see. Deputy. Approval flow. Yeah, you can find documents on deputy. Yeah, I think the search works. Screenshot. Let me see your screenshot. Why? Oh, yeah, you probably didn't search. And for the autocomplete, it doesn't necessarily come. The documents doesn't necessarily comes out of the autocomplete. You might have to actually do the search by clicking on the magnifying glass. Okay, but I will talk to our development team and see, if we can show this more clearly, that we should be finding documents with this autocomplete, because there are documents that matches this keyword. Use the magnifying glass icon to submit your search to find the actual documents. You will see a list like this. I will also talk to our development team and see if the autocomplete in the search box can be more useful with these keywords. Okay. Yeah, so try just executing the actual search, and you should be able to find those keywords in those. Should be able to find those documents containing these keywords. Okay, next question. Is it possible to create dashboard icons ourselves? Okay. Hello, a previous question you were asked about dashboards and how to edit them. Since then, I've tried to delete some dashboard reports I've created using the X, and it doesn't work. Yeah, I remember that from our last webinar, and for some reason, we are unable to reproduce that from our QA team, and me myself too, because when I go back to my desk and try to use the dashboard, there's no problem using the X to remove dashboard widgets. So yeah, but I still submitted an issue for them to see if they can find a fix or to find a way to reproduce this issue. And let me read on. There is also no option to create your own summaries, only what is produced for you on the data of the sheet. Yeah, the dashboard is mostly based on the data on your sheet, and they're gonna generate all the widgets for you by default. As many as the original data source sheet has. So let's see. We have a form that is submitted with detail about any defects found on sites and offices, i.e. toilet is broken in upstairs man's bathroom. We will have a status associated with this entry. Okay? Completed, pending, or unactioned. We would like a report in the same style as the dashboard that will give us 3 boxes: complete, ongoing, unactioned. I see. Ideally to be color-coded and clickable to open the entries in Ragic. Yeah, that's not right now, not the way dashboard reports work, because dashboard reports, each one of those widgets correspond to like one data field. So your 3 widgets actually only correspond to one data field, which is the status. So what you're saying is that you would like to expand the data, expand this single field into 3 widgets, which is reasonable, but just not yet supported on the dashboard report, but understandable. Yeah. Do you have a report where this would be possible? I looked at the widgets but couldn't get this to produce a tile with the information required on it. Any suggestion on how to produce an editable summary from a sheet? That would be really helpful. I think we could probably do this with the report, with the widget here. Let me just do a quick test. Maybe we could add a widget here. Like we could insert a widget here. And let's see. Oops. Based on data from this sheet and aggregate by number of records, yes, show total. And abbreviate large numbers, sure. Show trends, not really. We just want a big number of like, let's create a widget showing how many questions has not been answered. So we only show records under the following rule. So only show status that is unanswered. Let me see what it actually, yeah, only show if they are unanswered. Okay. So we could say status equals unanswered. Unanswered. Okay. So this would be our widget here. Let me make it a little bit smaller, like this. And maybe here, here. Okay, just anywhere for now. So if you go to unanswered, oh, it's just out of my viewing area. Oops. Yeah, so today unanswered days. Okay. Yeah, so of between all the time periods. So basically for all records, so I have 3 unanswered questions. Can I like hide this date by time, default time range? Default time range is max. But there's no way to hide them, but that's fine. Display time range, none of those, maybe. Yeah, just max. Show trends, not really needed. Yeah, let's see how this works. Yeah, so this will always show there's 3 unanswered questions. Oh, will always show the number of unanswered questions. I could just squeeze them here like this. No? Okay, I'll find a way to, we'll find a way to fit them here. I'll just bottom right. Okay, so it's like, basically it works kind of like this. So you should be able to add this kind of widget to your listing page to show how many, if there are how many tasks that has been completed, ongoing, and on action. So you should be able to do something like that on the sheets with the report widgets. And for the dashboard report, I don't think that's possible right now. It doesn't have this level of flexibility of the report widgets. So yeah, I think this would be the way to go. But you could reorganize the whole listing page to make room for this, so it doesn't look this awkward. Right now for the dashboard report, it would be displaying single numbers from calculating number of records matching a field is not supported. However, we can do this using report widgets on your listing page. Please refer to the webinar recording and you will be able to create multiple report widgets on your listing page like this. Like this. Yeah, and also we will be considering upgrading our dashboard reports. The dashboard report is actually quite old. We haven't updated that for new features for quite a few years. And yeah, what we're building as the next dashboard report is essentially the report widgets. And note that not only you could put the report widgets here, you can also put the report widgets here. So you can put them on you can even put them on the account homepage. That's actually usually an even better place to put those report widgets. Oops. You can also place these report widgets on your account home, which is in many cases a better place to put these widgets. Yeah, it works like this. Shrink this a little. You could just add a widget here, like a report widget. And it has basically the exact same configuration. Yeah, I'm just gonna unanswered questions. And the source sheet would be this. Number of records, different periods. Yeah, let's just make this simple. So pretty much the same configuration on answered. Here we go. This report widget. So whenever I go to the home of the account webinar, I'm gonna see there are two. So this could be a better place to put this. Okay. Next question. Payment through Ragic. Hello, I have seen there is an option of processing payments through Ragic. Do you have a working example of how this can be used, and are there any limitations? Can this link to card payment machines? For payments through Ragic, we're doing this through Stripe. So no, I don't think they support payment machines yet. For payment machines, usually you need to work with a payment machine provider like Square, or so. Generally, it's for online payments. So you have to configure the payments here by connecting a sheet and your account to your Stripe account. So basically, you're gonna need your Stripe account, and the sheet will kind of work as a payment sheet, so that the point of integration is on one single numeric field. So what the payment will do is to you will choose the field that contains this payment amount, and there will be a button for you to click on the right bottom side, and users will be able to click on that payment button to pay for the amount that is designated on your payment amount field. So that's basically what this do. It just pays for an amount that's specified by you, by which field contains the amount to be paid. Usually the amount due field. So yeah, it's basically pay a numeric amount on your Ragic sheet. Ragic payment processing is done through Stripe integration. It's for online payment processing, not for card payment machines for now. Get a screenshot for this first. You will be able to configure a Ragic sheet to collect payments based on one money field or numeric field you have on the Ragic sheet, and the payment button will allow user to pay for that amount through Stripe. Okay, so yeah, I think we should have a guide on this. Payment. Yeah, so basically this is how it works. It's gonna, after you set up your Stripe account and it's connected, and you'll be able to have a processed checkout like this. Yeah, so yeah, this document should be pretty clear. All right, here we go. Unanswered. Yeah. The number is generally cached in case that there's like a huge sheets. Can you provide tutorial for CSS customization? I found the HTML email formatting really helpful when customizing email templates. Would it be possible to provide simple tutorial for custom CSS to amend database from version of sheets? Okay. Yeah, this, if you're not a web developer, this might look kind of weird and kind of Greek to you. And so I think we could, yeah, there should be some sort of documentation on custom CSS, right? Yeah, there's no immediate link to this, but I'm sure there's some. I remember there's some documentation on the embedded sheets custom CSS. Let me look for this. No? Custom CSS. Embedding on your website. I guess they're not that easy to find. I will let our documentation team know that, find a better place to have the custom CSS documentation more easily findable here. Where's my original sheet? Okay. Thank you for your feedback. I will let our documentation team know about this and provide more detailed documents on how to configure custom CSS for the web embeds here on this document. Yeah, I think we should have better documentation for custom CSS here. We'll keep you posted. All right, and that's it for the questions for today. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to use the question sheet to ask your questions. And I will be coming in for the webinar to answer your questions in 2 weeks. And thank you for joining, and goodbye.